Whoa, into the barrier. Into the barrier goes Daniel. Right as we switch to him. And he's out of qualifying. I'm just watching, boom, into the wall. Does find time in the middle sector. Dearman behind, pushing on. Few drivers as well, just starting laps behind that. As Jones actually invalidates his lap already in the first sector. Edward Isham not finding time in the first sector as Porges rounds the final corner. Dearman invalidates, he could be at risk as Porges over the line goes into 8th place. We'll look back to Edward Isham as Anderson just starts a lap very late on in this session. Dearman could be at risk of elimination if someone near the bottom can get a time on the board. XR Rambo is not finding time in the first sector. No one is really setting the timing screens alight. Vide, currently in 19th place, does find a bit of time, maybe. No, just starting a lap, actually. It's Night Owl, the one who is finding a little bit of time as Isham goes into 9th. Rambo not finding time at the end of Sector 2. And Rambo now looking to see if he can just get himself safe. Is further behind. Anderson has not had a good first sector. A second off. Comparable times from those near him. As Rambo he will take the checkered flag here. Just goes into the gravel. As this is Night Owl in the Williams. Can Night Owl save himself? At the end of the session, Vide behind. What sector times is he doing? As Night Owl stays in the elimination zone. So it's Vide or Dearman, I think. Is Dearman pushing on another lap? Maybe trying to wring its neck? Maybe. Dearman is just actually rounding the final corner. Could Dearman get himself safe regardless? As Dearman crosses the line, doesn't improve. Vide, can he knock Dearman out? Yes, he can. And get into 10th place. So Ben Dearman is out of qualifying in Q1, along with Saban, Anderson in the McLaren, Night Owl, and Daniel, who crashed. Keeps it within track limits, crucially. We have 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. And this looks better from the Williams. Careful with the track limits over the chicane. And now it's the downhill towards the two Ravazzas. Can make or break your lap. You don't want to end up in the gravel traps. Right out to the track limits on the exit of the first part. Right out to track limits again on the second part. And over the line goes Adam Dick to P5. So that is better. As Bryn Evans to the top chicane. 2.5 tenths down on Raphael. Looks like a better lap from Bryn Evans. As Wave also going again. Along with a lot of other drivers. As Porges on a lap, maybe, if I've not mistaken it. Bryn Evans over the line to 4th place. As Wave over the line. And Wave doesn't improve his time. What about Porges? Porges actually backed off there. We'll look to Nisev, who could be in a bit of danger here. If some of those drivers towards the bottom can get a lap on the board. We have a minute, just over a minute to go in this session. And Nisev needs to keep this within track limits. He's finding about 8 tenths on his own previous best, so should go up into about 5th place. But actually, he finds even more time in the last sector, and he goes into 2nd place. So it's a great lap from Nisev as we look back to Varkish. Varkish rounding the final couple of corners. Currently the driver at risk. I'm not sure what the threats from behind are looking like at the moment, but he goes into 7th, pushes the Sauber of Alex Norris down into the driver at risk spot as Aidan Jones to the end of sector 2, 8 tenths down on Raphael. If he keeps this going, it should place him ahead of Wave, but you can still lose time in the last sector as Edward Isham is just about going to start a final lap in the session. Norris 9 tenths down, slightly slower than Aidan Jones so far on this lap, as Isham actually was finishing a lap, even though it's where it said out lap, but he goes into 9th. Jones then replaces him by 2 milliseconds as Alex Norris into the final couple of corners, but invalidates his lap. So Alex Norris is out of qualifying, but Rambo still looking to save himself here. And Rambo, I believe, is pushing on and has found 2 green sectors. As Yaro, I believe, is just running the final couple of corners. He'll cross the line to go into 5th. As Rambo, can he get into Q3 here? Knocks the bollards as he crosses the line. And he does knock out Edward Isham. And I believe that is it for this session. As Raphael to the line. And of course takes the top spot provisionally. As there goes the Williams. And then it's Alex Mills. And then Nisev to the line. Nisev to 3rd place. And then it will just be, I believe, Rambo, who is on the lap at the moment. Jones invalid. So it is Rambo on the way. Rounding the 2 Ravazzas. Doesn't take out any bollards this time. And over the line, it's a used tyre run. And it's P5 for the moment. As Thomas Varkish to take P2 as long as this is nice and clean. Now it's very close to the track limits there. And over the line, it is P2. Carry the speed through Minerale. Attacks the curb on the inside. And is still right there with Raphael. Lost lost a little bit of touch with Raphael in the middle sector. But still right there as long as he can keep it clean for the rest of the lap. And it should be good enough for P2. Bryn did start a lap. No, he's actually on an out lap. That's my bad. I thought he just started lap. Nope, he's invalidated at the chicane on his out lap. So Trixie to the line and takes P2 away from Varkish. As now we go back to Yaro, who is attacking that chicane. And this a bit slower than his teammates so far on this current lap. It's getting out of the way is Varkish, going into the 2 Ravazzas. And Yaro takes the line, and it is behind. His teammate locks out the 2nd row as it stands. And Bryn, meanwhile, who has driven for Mercedes at one point, back in season 6, and also last season, and crosses the line and goes into 5th. We'll get ready to see a push lap from the McLaren, who attacks Tamburello. And this is no warm-up lap for the McLaren, it seems. This is the attempt at pole position, at least the first attempt at the end of this session, and it's already 2 tenths up on his own personal best from before. Raphael setting the timing screens alight. And will anyone be able to challenge this? Can Raphael keep this up in sector 2 and 3? That was right, pushed out to the track limits. Keeps it valid though. And again over the curbs. And Acqua Minerale. And how is it looking at the end of sector 2? He's kept the advantage from sector 1. It's barely an improvement in sector 2. It is still just about an improvement though. And Raphael, can he get into the 1 minute 12s? Down to the 2 Ravazzas. That looked a bit out of shape as we go on board. Opens up the 2nd Ravazza out to the track limits again. And Raphael to the line. Does lose time in the final sector, but puts another benchmark on the board. Ferraris, Jones about 4.5 tenths down. Mills only just slightly down on Raphael. Bryn Evans finding time, but not as much as Alex Mills. And we'll keep watching the Racing Bulls though. Down through Acqua Minerale. Gets a bit out of shape on the exit. As Dick in the Williams is finding has found about 3 tenths on his own personal best in the first sector. It's not a good middle sector from Jones, who had something another lap before. That's why it's yellow. Yaro in the Mercedes is about matching the times that Bryn Evans was doing before he invalidated his lap. As this is Aidan Jones. Can he get ahead of anyone over the line? It is into 8th. As there goes the Williams of Dick. Stays in the same position. Must have invalidated. Indeed did. As Mills goes on to the 2nd row of the grid. This is Yaro Yaro in the Mercedes, looking to get back onto the second row. And over the line, gets to the front row as it stands. What about Varkish? What about Nisev? Varkish to third position. Nisev now looks to be the only one. Trixie's going again on another lap as Rambo takes 8th in the Haas. It's the Red Bulls only to go, and Trixie's invalidated again, so it's only Nisev to challenge it. Nisev's only on the second row, and it's Raphael on pole position in the McLaren. He's already in the pits, and it is Mercedes 2 and 3, and Nisev joining Varkish on the second row of the grid.